I'm sure they have had studies of how the students learn the most.
Oh, studies, research, testing, up the yin-yang, up the gazoo, you know, for years, for decades, for a century. Okay, and still, what's clearly missing is the fundamentals aren't there. First off, you're forcing people to do something they don't want to do. So rather than go with what they're interested in, which is the easy path, you force them into it, and what they end up doing is hating arithmetic, hating English, hating Spanish, hating their teachers, hating school, hating authority, that kind of thing, you know. Whereas if you could tap into their interests, it would be limitless. And the other thing is you can tap into the interest, and then off of that you could branch into all the other areas of knowledge, and they could get interested in that. They could learn how to learn and be curious and find new worlds that way. Because the curious are the ones that are going to learn. So if you look at the quality of learning when you're curious and motivated, it's much, much higher than if you're just forced to do rote learning or to do a report for school. So as you can see, basically all schools are set up to just force you to do those things that you're not really interested in, right? What's interesting is today we're seeing that the folks that are most successful aren't necessarily the most educated. In fact, education can be made that if you follow the line with education too far, you become a conformist. And in today's business world, a conformist is bad news, bad news there. So there's no absolute key, but I think that if you get that curiosity and interest and you expand that, you get some motivation there. And then the student then begins to do the initiative on their own, take their own initiative to learn. They're not dependent on something outside. And not that you should totally let the student necessarily do that, because sometimes students aren't going to be aware of things, right? But by not tapping into that, we lose all that potential. And certainly, I think the 21st century is definitely going to be the century where, you know, millennia later, they will say how humans wasted the potential of the human race.
Wow.
I mean, you know, we're wasting everywhere you turn. It's wasted. And there's enough human potential that could solve all our problems many times over, easily. But we just don't know how to tap into that.